I originally moved to New York after the first year anniversary of surviving, and it was like freedom. When I got to New York, I was Lindsay. I wasn't, oh, that's my friend who had cancer. Remember I told you about her? It was, I'm Lindsay, and I got to choose who I could tell. I'm definitely at a point in my life, you know, mid-20s, dating is just a learning experience. I'm always nervous. I'm nervous for a first date in general. I mean, for all the reasons that everyone's nervous for a first date. But I think cancer just adds a different dimension to it. So there's that big question of, do they know or do they not? How much do they know? And when is it appropriate to tell? It's part of who you are, and you would share it with someone that you decided to share those type of intimate details with, but it's not what you would tell them on the first date. Is it first date conversation? Part of me wants it to be, because if they can't handle it, I don't want to go on the second date. But part of me also feels like I shouldn't have to share such an intimate part of myself to a complete stranger.
You know, life throws a lot of challenges at us, even in the best of times. But when a doctor tells you that you have juvenile diabetes, and suddenly it feels like the worst day of your life, you wonder how you're ever going to survive it.
I would tell a kid that was just diagnosed with diabetes that they're going to be okay and it's all right, and they will be able to do just the exact amount of things they were allowed to do and hope to do.
I would say to parents to help them feel that they are not any different. They just have a little bit more to handle.
Try, as hard as it may seem, to have a relaxed attitude. The attitude that parents have is the attitude that their child is going to pick up on.
You should hang in there, and it's not the end of the world, but you gotta remember to do all your stuff.
I'm here to tell other kids that there's a life after diabetes. You just have to take care of yourself.
Without good communication, there is no doctor-patient relationship. It's absolutely critical. You need to be able to hear what the patient is saying. The patient needs to be able to hear what you're saying. You can't be talking in code. There needs to be a directness.
I came out of that appointment feeling very confident that this was a man I could trust, this was a man that I could believe, and that this was a man that could get me into the first stage of remission. If you have any fears whatsoever, ask the question. You've got to be open and you've got to be honest. You shouldn't hide anything in these relationships. Communication is the entire key to this, and you'll get out of it what you put into it.
I woke up in the morning and I was feeling horrible. So I stayed home from school and I went to the doctor and I got my blood drawn. He told me that it was very curable. He was talking about the disease, and he didn't even tell me what the disease was yet. And I asked him what it was, and he told me it was leukemia. And I was just shocked. I thought I was done for. I thought I was gonna die. And I didn't know they had all these great treatments for it. I had no clue.
I'm Heather. I'm 13 years old, and I live with my family in a small town in the state of Washington. There's my mom, my dad, and me, and my brother Gervais, who's turning 16 today. Things were going pretty well until a few months ago when everything changed. My brother was diagnosed with cancer. It seems like I cry all the time now, worrying about him. I feel so afraid of what lies ahead. Maybe you're just like me and have a brother or a sister who has cancer. This video is about us.
I want them to have respect for me as they do with other kids. Because I'm a normal child. I'm not different. I'm like them.